Hola my beautiful darlings, thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about what it was like for me to apply to PA school twice. I'm Laura Coral. I'm a dermatology physician assistant and I created this channel, The Coral Brief, to talk about the PA career, talk about all the different things we can do with it, and if you're interested in this career or you're a current PA, then this is a place for us to chat. I do get a lot of questions about what my stats were. Did I take a gap year? How many times did I apply? What was my application process like? I will say that this is a very difficult time when you're applying to anything really and you don't know whether it's gonna happen or not. So I totally 100% understand if there's any anxiety around all of this, and I hope that I can help, because trust me, there was a lot of anxiety on my side of things a few years ago before I got into PA school. I just remember going to my mailbox every single day after work and just feeling like I was just waiting for my life to start. Becoming a PA was the pathway to getting the life that I dreamt of, and it just wasn't happening. So let me tell you a little bit about what that experience was like. Well, for starters, I applied to PA school twice. So the first time I applied, I didn't get in. And honestly, looking back, I can 100% see why. I didn't know about the PA career until I literally applied to it. I wanted to work with patients. I wanted to work in medicine, but medical school didn't really quite fit, but I thought that was kind of like my only option. And then I found out about the PA career. I realized this was perfect, and then I looked at the calendar. The application cycle was about to end in literally 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Talk about crunch time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I was a pre-med major in college, so I had all the prereqs. I had taken the GRE years back. I didn't do great, but I figured, what do I have to lose except a few hundred bucks, right? I went for it and I applied. I was so late to the game. One of the schools, in addition to submitting the CASPA application, you have to also submit supplemental materials. I couldn't even mail my application. I had to hand deliver it because if I mailed it, it wouldn't get there on time. That's how last minute it was. So it's not surprising that I didn't get in. Probably all the spots were taken up. I did get waitlisted at one of the schools. This was actually a blessing in disguise. Yes, I was super upset at the time, oh my God, this is the career that I wanted. I didn't get in. Now I have to wait another year. At least I had found the career I wanted to do. I decided that I would try again. It's frustrating when you feel like you're just waiting for your life to start and you have to keep on waiting, but it was actually great to wait another year, and I'll tell you why. When I applied so rushed that first time, the people who wrote me a letter of recommendation really didn't have time to do it. That second time around, I was able to get great letters of recommendation, which really helped. Waiting an extra year also gave me the time to work with my mentors in order to write an amazing personal statement, and it also gave me time to study and take the GRE again. It's spend a lot of time studying and doing a lot of practice exams, and then I took the GRE over and I did so much better. I also read a book on acing your interview to go to PA school. I think that's the name of it, How to Ace Your PA School Interview or something like that. I will link it below because this book got me into PA school, and if you read any of the Amazon reviews, they're all 5 out of 5, get this book. When you read a book, unlike when you read an article online or something, you really immerse yourself in this topic. So you learn about the history of the PA career, learn about relevant topics that you may be asked about. At the time, one of the hot topics was how would Obamacare affect the PA career, and I was so happy to have come across that in the book. Even if you don't get asked these questions in your interview, or even if you don't have to do a writing prompt, you walk in and you are so much more confident. My second round of interviews versus versus my first round of interviews was literally night and day. Having that extra year also gave me time to talk to a lot of PA school students, hear more about what their journey was like, to do a lot more shadowing. I ended up shadowing a neonatal ICU PA, so that was inpatient, a dermatology PA, and I ended up shadowing primary care PA. So I felt like I had a really good idea of the scope of practice of PAs, both inpatient and outpatient. And again, that all looks really great on your application. And I also took this time to retake, I think, 2 classes, which I hadn't done so great in undergrad. I think it was like organic chemistry or something. I did that to myself and took it over again, but it kind of shows that you're willing to improve yourself. It felt good to have a little bit of practice of, you know, taking classes and going back to that study life, because after you've taken a gap year or 2, it's hard to get back to studying all the time. And the undergrad life is so not like the grad school life. And another great advantage was when the CASPA cycle opened again for the following year, I had everything ready. I had already done this process a year prior, so I knew what I was doing. It wasn't as confusing, and I was like first in line. So as soon as the application opened, I applied right away. I sent in all my stuff. I had all my letters of recommendation. I had everything. And that was really great because I got interviews like right away. So I started interviewing the summer before the summer I was supposed to start school. I ended up interviewing and getting into my PA school of choice by like August. I wasn't gonna start until May of the following year. So it was really great to have almost a full year of chill attitude where I knew that I was gonna go to PA school. It allowed me some time to plan a few trips. I went to South America, I saw my family in Colombia, I went to Europe, and it was just really great to have that time to do that before PA school, because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do a lot of traveling or a lot of partying while I was in school, even though I still did a little bit. But having the opportunity to do that was wonderful. I would recommend it to anyone. I would definitely recommend doing something for yourself, doing something fun before PA school, because the 2 or 3 years that you're doing it, it requires your total focus. As far as my stats, I would say my GPA was 3.6, 3.7. It wasn't anything out of this world, but I did have a good amount of patient care hours. I'd been working for about 2 years in clinical research, where I got to see patients daily. So I had about 4,000 hours of patient care experience, which was really helpful. I had great recommendations, and I applied to 5 different schools and got into 3. So I got into my top choice, which is what I wanted, Johnson & Wales. It was wonderful. I had a great experience in PA school. If you want to know more, I did make a video on what PA school is like, and that will also be linked below for you to watch next. And that's pretty much it. Just a very low-key video on my experience. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you're going through this, listen. If you want to make this happen, you are going to. Just stick with it, and it's not the worst thing in the world to be waitlisted or to be rejected that first cycle. You just are going to do it again, and you're going to be 1000% better. So stick with it if you really want to do it. I hope we get to hang out again, so please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.